all of that said, let's get cracking with this week's questions. So question number one comes in from Kellie. Hi there, Kellie. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. Kellie says, could you explain more about how WiggyWam's system works for estate agents? That's a nice, simple and quick and easy question to run through there, Kellie. So thank you for that. Look, I want to share some pretty comprehensive information with you here on this question, Kellie. I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as possible. So in the age of distraction, it's very easy to get caught up where you think, I'll just put this video on in the background and I'll just listen whilst I'm doing other things like emailing or Facebooking or whatever else it might be. I'm going to encourage you to just stop what you're doing for literally 5 minutes and let me blast through this, because this is really important for any estate agents and also conveyancers who are working with the general public buying and selling properties. And this is why I feel I've come into a lot of criticism for my views about where I feel the home buying and selling group are going wrong in their search for the elixir, if you like, or the ultimate solution to helping people buy and sell property. My view is, frankly, that there are many things that can be done to speed up the house buying and selling process. And I put it into a kind of top 5, if you like, 5 major areas where I think, we can really help agents make more money and win more listings. It's that simple. But here's the first one. What I've seen in my experience is the first major area where buyers and sellers need support in their moving journey is education. And that really needs to come right at the very start of their moving journey. So if you think about the psychology of people buying and selling property, when they're thinking about selling, they could be thinking 6, 12, 18, 24 months before they put their property up for sale, and they want to make that move. Okay, so they want to get their kids into a certain school, or they're moving with work, or whatever else it is. It's never really a case of, oh, we've just decided we're going to put a house up for sale. There's usually a lead-in process, okay? And yourselves, when you're dealing with educated buyers and sellers, or educated public, it's a lot easier to deal with that rather than actually having to handhold somebody through the entire process who's never done it before, or lacks all the education or the knowledge that they need in order to move. And that's not being critical of anybody, but as we said right at the introduction, without that help and knowledge and support, people don't know what they're doing, and why would they? Okay, and that's why they're going to turn to estate agents and conveyancers to get that information. Now, if you think about it, you're probably getting asked the same questions week in, week out from different buyers and sellers along the way. So doesn't it make sense to remove all of that workload that's involved in answering all of these questions and do it once, and let that system run in the background as an education nurturing process for your prospects and your clients, okay? So this is why we do these webinars each and every week, is because not only does it answer people's immediate and burning questions, but I guarantee that if we've got 1 million people a year moving home, that more than one person has got that question as a burning question. And so what it does is actually builds up a knowledge database, Kellie, okay? So you've got a knowledge database that's building up over the course of the last 20 weeks, and we take about 5 or 6 questions every week. So you can imagine that we're now over 100 of these little videos that we put together as an FAQ, if you like, or a knowledge database for buyers and sellers to tap into, so that they can have their questions answered comprehensively, and they can sit and watch a video, or they can read a PDF, or they can read a book, for example, Home Buyer Secrets, and they can start to get that knowledge and education that they need, which cuts out all of those phone calls or those emails that you're having to deal with, where buyers have all these questions that they're direct to you because they don't know where else to go. Okay, so they're going to come to you and put those questions on your desk. So let's remove all of that and put it into an education nurturing process that you can put in place for your clients, that answers their questions really quickly. Then you've got educated buyers and sellers to work with who are a lot easier to help and support. Plus, they understand the benefits of why they should pay more for the service. And this is really important, Kellie, because I see so many agents and solicitors having to undersell their professional services because they feel that that's what all the market will pay, when actually the opposite is true. But the client needs a logical reason to justify the emotional decision to purchase your services, okay? And what you're selling isn't tangible. So you need to demonstrate to your clients why you're offering this tangible service, which is a estate agency, and why you're dedicated to helping them achieve the best price they can for their property. But not only that, that your work really comes into play once the sale has been agreed. Okay, and all of those things, and I know I've thrown a lot at you in this one part of the 5 major processes, Kelly, but that part alone, that proving your worth as an estate agent, is so important, because most agents most sellers don't realize it, and they just think, well, all the estate agent does is put the property online, and then that's it, really. And then I pay thousands of pounds for this service, which actually I could probably get for free elsewhere if I look around. You know what I mean? So it's about educating your client as to why they need you, and that will help you to win more instructions at higher fees. That's the first step. Okay. So we've covered that basis for you by providing books like Home Buyer Secrets and all of the knowledge and information that's contained within the learning center within the WiggyWam website. Okay, so if you go to wiggywam.co.uk/learn, you can see the learning center there. Register for an account. You'll see all the videos that we put together, and that knowledge database is growing rapidly. And as I say, we post these webinars each and every week. We post the individual questions also. And this is a really helpful knowledge bank that you can share with your audience to cut down a lot of the work and help educate them as to why they want to be choosing you to work with. Okay. Now, the second element, Kelly, to get in place, and this is absolutely crucial, this is what we call a protect your pocket policy. Okay. Now, when you consider that 1 in 3 sales will fall through, that's the statistical national average, that 1 in 3 sales will fall through, then you've got to understand, if you're asking your clients to go out on a limb with no guarantee, no surety of sale, no surety of purchase at all, but to put full faith and trust in buying or selling a property, and then running the risk of spending thousands of pounds on professional surveys, on professional legal fees, on searches, on God knows what else, to buy or sell a property, and there's a risk that that deal could fall through and they'll lose all of that money, you can hopefully see why a protect your pocket policy is a complete no-brainer, and it's absolutely what you should be recommending, in my humble opinion, to your buyers and seller clients in order to help them to maximize the opportunity of buying and selling, but also reducing the risk of all the financial outlay that they will make, because when things go wrong, they're the ones that lose out. Okay, so hopefully you can see the sense of that. As I say, I think it's a complete no-brainer. I just wish this sort of thing had been available 10 or 15 years ago when I first started buying and selling properties, but that's an absolute must as far as I'm concerned. And once you've got that in place, if you think about it, it opens the door to being able to charge sellers for things like sellers packs. Okay, because their backstop is, well, all of this cost that I'm paying out should actually be covered by a protect your pocket policy. So if everything goes wrong, I lose my buyer at the 11th hour, and that does happen. As well as I do, it happens, and it can happen every single day in the property market. I've lost my buyer, or I've lost my, the one I'm buying from. They've decided to change their mind and not move now. Then their costs are underwritten, and it takes the sting out of the tail of not being able to move. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The third thing, Kelly, that needs to be put in place is, I believe in this very passionately. Okay, so if you're a solicitor or a conveyancer or an estate agent and you're listening to this, listen very carefully. I believe very passionately about this, that we need to remove the legal bottleneck in the conveyancing process. And what I mean by that is that it's very obvious to me, certainly, and whether it is to others, I'm not quite sure, but it's very obvious to me that a lot of law firms have been taking on cut price conveyancing work in order to try and earn a living. Okay. And not only that, a lot of them are paying out big referral fees to joint venture partners or introducers who are introducing work to them. And that model isn't working anymore. And the reason it's not working more than anything is because the professional indemnity insurance policy costs that solicitors have to have in place in order to trade are going up astronomically at the moment. And this is causing a lot of them to go to the wall. It's caused a lot of legal businesses to fail. We're hearing stories week in, week out now of law firms that are having to close their doors for good, and they've been around for a long time. It's absolutely tragic. But the point of me saying this is, if this is the bottleneck to the entire process of getting moved, that every sale and purchase has to go through the hands of a law firm or a solicitor in order for the deal to complete, then doesn't it make sense to actually pay the conveyancer more money? And I feel I'm the only one in the industry that's championing for this right now, but to pay the conveyancer more money in order to allow them to have the time and the effort to focus on doing exactly what they want to do, okay, which is to get the deal across the line as quickly as possible. Now, this is a major switch in mindset from a conveyancer that charges $599 plus VAT, for example, for a conveyance versus, asking them to ask their clients to spend £1,200 or £1,500 with them. But it's a complete no-brainer. If you say to your client, look, option A is to go with a standard conveyancer who is going to take at least 4 or 5 months to get this deal across the line, with a 1 in 3 chance of that deal falling through, but you might pay £700. Or option B is actually we can get this done in 6 weeks. It's going to cost you £1,200 plus VAT, but there's a 1 in 10 chance the sale might fall through. What do you want to do? Okay, and for the sake of £500-600, it's a complete no-brainer in my book as to why any buyer or seller wouldn't want to spend that extra money in order to give an experienced conveyancer time and effort to spend on the case file to get it through as quickly as possible and remove a lot of the frustration that's suffered by agents not being able to bank their fees quickly enough. And for buyers and sellers who get incredibly frustrated because they're having to wait months and months and months for anything to happen. And as I say, I'm not blaming this on the lawyers. I'm not trying to make it the lawyer's fault. I'm just simply offering them an alternative, which is to actually charge what you're worth. Okay, so you can probably see I get very passionate about this, Kelly, and this is something I am incredibly passionate about because it is so important to remove this legal bottleneck in the process. Okay. Now, fourth thing that needs to be done from an estate agent's point of view that you can plug into with the WiggyWam system is things like sellers packs and searches. Okay. It's very clear that in order to, again, assist with this conveyancing bottleneck, that we need more upfront information in place. And it's only going to help buyers and sellers to do deals more quickly and to be more informed at the point of making an offer. So a seller's pack is absolutely essential. But the reason most agents don't do it is because they first of all, they don't see the value or they don't want to change. But secondly, an essential part of the seller's pack are things like searches, okay? And they don't want to put searches in place because it's a major cost to the client that the client may not recover if they decide not to sell. Okay, or the sale falls through at a later date. Now, go back to whatever it was, point number 2, about putting the protect your pocket policy in place. Surely the light bulb's starting to go on now to go, actually, yeah, this makes total sense. This is exactly why you need a protect your pocket policy in place. And this is exactly why it would then allow us to put searches in place. But wait, there's more, okay? Because it gets even better that we are pioneering with one of the largest search providers in the UK, something that we call Twin Search, okay? Now, what is Twin Search? Sounds amazing, I know, but what Twin Search is actually, it's a 2-part search system, okay? Now, the first part, or the first twin, if you like, of the searches is about 70% of all the information that's available on a property that isn't likely to change over the course of the next sort of, 3 to 5 years. Now, that first tranche of information goes into the seller's pack and is readily available almost immediately. So as part of the seller's pack, they get the majority of the information up front, which makes a more informed buyer at the point of putting their offer in. The second part, the second twin, if you like, is about 30% of the information, which is information that may change over the course of time. And that information is instructed at the point of solicitors getting involved in the sale or purchase of the property, okay? So that information then cuts down a massive amount of waiting around for local authorities to return that information, because we can get it back a lot quicker. And then the seller's pack is 100% complete. And as I say, it makes for a much more informed buyers and sellers. Much more information is going into the solicitor's hands on day one. And as a consequence, the whole deal should move a lot quicker. So hopefully you're starting to see how this whole system falls into place. And then finally, the fifth part of all of this, I think, is what we lovingly call communication community. So if you think about, again, buying and selling, it can be quite a lonely journey for people. They need people around them to bounce ideas off, to get their questions answered and all the rest of it. And again, as you know, if you've been in the industry for more than 5 minutes, you know that a lot of buyers and sellers are sort of riddled with anxiety and frustration, and they're kind of emotionally charged in a lot of ways, which is why they tend to go off down the phone at you when it's not your fault. It's nothing to do with you, whatever's going on, but they just get so worked up with what's going on. And so by having a community within WiggyWam, which is where a sort of social media aspect of the platform comes into play, it really helps them to sort of build that community and get support around them, and to get their questions answered, and to bounce ideas off and share knowledge and information with other people, and really become quite helpful to others in their moving journey. And not only that, we have workspaces that are built into the back end of WiggyWam. So once a sale or a deal is agreed, you can very quickly set up a workspace within about 2 clicks of your mouse. And what that does is it allows you to invite the buyer, the seller, obviously you're the estate agent, so you'll be part of the group, and you can invite both parties, solicitors as well if you want to, and a mortgage broker or anybody else that you feel is relevant. And within that workspace is like a timeline of all of the events that are happening. People can very quickly update. There's a checklist that goes in there as well, so people are updated as to what's being done, and also what's to come in the future. And all that is backed up again by the learning center within the WiggyWam platform, so that when people are looking for information or answers to their questions, they can go to the learning center, get that knowledge and information. They haven't got to keep bouncing questions off you guys as estate agents or solicitors. And more importantly, as they go through this entire journey, everything is logged, so everybody can see what's going on at all times, and it really just gives a clear cut through the confusion, if you like, roadmap of everything that's actually taking place. The other thing that's really essential for a buyer and a seller is that we talk about communication being a major deal. People don't necessarily need a 10-minute phone call that tells them the searches are back or whatever. They don't need that. What they need is a notification on their phone that says, oh yeah, by the way, this has happened. Okay, great. That's fantastic. At least I know that, at least I now know that not everybody's forgotten about me, that they are actually taking steps towards my sale or my purchase, and things are happening in a structured and organized fashion. Okay. So we really are passionate about all of this, and we thought so clearly about how this whole process needs to be done in a different way. And like I say, this process is probably absolutely bang on for about 85% of all property transactions in the UK. The other 15% might require a little bit more hand-holding through the deal, which is where obviously solicitors and estate agents earn their money. But that's the whole point of paying you guys a little bit more, or a lot more, because that's where your expertise comes into play to help these people out. Okay. So I hope that gives you a bit of a structure, Kelly. I know it's a bit long-winded, so I appreciate your attention. And if you've stayed with me this long, listen in for this last little bit, because this will blow you away. What we've decided to do as part of our marketing structure within the business is to actually build in an affiliate system into our platform. So rather than spending huge sums of money on TV adverts and all the rest of it, which is what so many other firms out there do, we actually believe that the money is better spent within our community itself. So we believe in self-supporting, self-revenue generating within the community. And so let's say, for example, you're an estate agent and you sign up with us, Kelly, and then you know that you've got maybe 3,000 people on your email database. It might be more, it might be less, but you also know that those same 3,000 people might be registered with 2, 3, 4 other agents in your local area. Now, if they receive an affiliate link from you for whatever else products or service it might be, introducing that product and service to them, then you will receive a commission once they buy that product or service, even if they never interact with you ever again. So if you're in, let's say you're in Newcastle, for example, as an estate agent, and you share this information with a potential buyer who's registered on your mailing list, and all of a sudden they decide that they've got to do a job move and they move to Liverpool. And as they're moving to Liverpool, they decide that they want to get their searches done through WiggyWam, for example, or they want to, get some other product or service through us, then you will receive a commission from that introduction when they buy that product or service, even if they never interact with you ever again. So you can hopefully see how powerful this is, that you're making money even from your competition or from your leads that you might otherwise have just vaporized and never interacted with you ever again. So hopefully you can see how smart this is, what we've tried to build into it. But that affiliate system is only available for a limited number of people. I will be honest, we're opening that up to around about the first 100 people. And again, one of the important things is if, again, you're an estate agent, Kelly, so imagine that as your competitors are all paying their subs to these various different platforms, imagine if you were getting some of their subscription from another platform like WiggyWam, for example, into your bank account every month. Imagine your competitors paying you money to advertise their properties or to be part of the WiggyWam community. I think that'd be really cool, if I'm honest. But that's just me. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an overview, Kelly. Look, I'm happy to walk you through with a demo if you like at any point, or any other estate agent or conveyancer who likes the idea of WiggyWam and they think that it would be a good fit with their business. By all means, get in touch with us. We'll do a demo. Just send me an email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk, and we'll arrange, just put demo in the subject title. And we'll happily arrange a no obligation demo. We'll walk you through the site. We'll show you exactly what it's all about and how all of the different pieces fit together. Okay, and it'll, I believe, quite frankly, this is going to cut your workload by at least 40%, if not more. And I would hope that by putting into place what we talk about and using the various suites and tools and services that we're offering, I would say you should at least look for a 25-30% increase in revenues just for plugging into WiggyWam. That's what I honestly, genuinely believe. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. You'll have to try it out with us, see what you think. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then no hard feelings. At least we tried, right? So hope that answers the question, Kelly. Thanks for bearing with me whilst I went through it. You can probably tell I'm very passionate about what we're doing here at WiggyWam. So any other questions that you've got, or if you want that demo, or if anybody else wants that demo, hit me up with an email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. Just put demo in the title, and we'll get on that. All right, thank you for your question, Kelly. Good luck with everything, and let me know what else we can do to help. All right, thanks ever so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to the end of today's webinar. I've been really passionate about getting through some of these questions there. You've asked some fantastic questions, which I really, really appreciate you all contributing to this valuable knowledge bank and resource that we're building now within WiggyWam. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to get value out of watching these videos in the future, and also going through these questions. So thank you so much for contributing. As I say, we're here every week doing this week in, week out. So please do share this information with other people in your network. Please share these videos on your social media platforms, etc. And also feel free to submit your questions to us. You can send them in via email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also send them through to us on Twitter. Twitter handle is @WiggyWam_UK. So that's @WiggyWam_UK. Or you can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk, and you can register your profile on there. Send questions to us in a direct message or post them onto our forum, and we'll take them in and we'll answer them each and every week. So thank you once again for watching. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for pledging your allegiance to the property revolution, and I look forward to welcoming you on and seeing you on another webinar again in the near future. So thanks once again. Look after yourselves. God bless, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.